Let's make the people
Yay.
purple. That's more
Oh
fun.
my god.
Where did Virginia go? I want to catch up with her.
Where is she? Watch over there. I'm just going in circles. I'm literally spinning. Get out of my circle. How's it going?
Okay.
Hmm?
Got some numbers a second ago.
Who? Raise one out of your realizing.
Kind of simmered down here too.
Any extra people that shouldn't be here?
No, just poles.
Just poles.
Fortunate.
So we'll give you another minute with it because Virginia's over there, like leaned against the wall. Like she's already told me she's going to be grounded. Like she needs to feel stable, that's perfectly fine. Like that's a thing.
Oh, okay,
Like,
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, what they're doing can be very disorienting. So I can kind of see like where somebody would like. That's why she went over to the tree so she can.
Dizzy is kind
Right.
of.
So it can be very. And at the end of the night, you're going to see like it can get very disorienting by what we're going to be doing at the last stop. So. And by the way, as far as vaping goes, I don't mind at all. I actually vape in between spaces, so don't.
They mind. She minds me, not me specifically.
Just her. I don't care if you do. Sorry.
My
It's
dog-
my mom.
My 17-year-old's like, what are you smoking now? And I'm like, you can't smell the flavor in the car? Like, and I was like, I'm not stupid. I know you and her boyfriend's name is Colin. I'm like, I know you and Colin are trying things. You're 17. I get it. She's like, well, just don't tell April that's my wife, her stepmom. Like, just don't tell her to take the dogs out without her vape in her pocket. I'm like, yeah, I thought so.
Maybe I should keep asking. Maybe I should keep asking. What happened to the mansion? I'm trying to figure out which Eliza we were trying to figure out which Eliza.
I'm too stupid for this. I feel like
What was it? Huh? What was it? Nothing. It was just really loud static.
But in 82 is Eliza said, hello Felix, and she was over there, and then gone.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
And that's the only explanation you can come up with. Get those crazy boys and disappear right away. It's definitely not maybe. solar panel lights are solar. Like,
Should be steady.
right. There's nothing in them. Like, you can go measure them if you want. Like, there's nothing coming off of them whatsoever. You can turn one on. Yes, they're solar. So that's a whole different type of EMF that we got to reach that's on that. Yeah, 82 is actually really high.
82?
Everything's kind of, you heard, blown up.
Blown up?
Let's go rain it down.
I don't know.
All right, I say we rein it in. Let's go back to the back to where we started.
Okay.
You know, because Jay hasn't like screamed at me or through the camera and said there's an extra person in there. So,
Not yet.
Lucas hasn't. He's still holding his.
Oh, am I supposed to stop recording?
Stop recording if you want. Give your hands a break.
Spin, normal, alone.
So all we have literally is the number 3.
While we were walking, I heard granddaughter, son out there, and meddling. That's what I feel like I heard.
Meddling's a weird term we don't hear every day, isn't it? I like it.
Scooby Doo.
Yep. Meddling
Was
kids.
meddling kids. But yeah, I heard granddaughter and son out there. I think I did. But yeah, as soon as we turned down here, I heard 3.
Interesting. Gotta be able to read my writing when I get to the office.
But it's also like you're just scrolling through radio, like.
Exactly. But I'm here to show you, like, there's no such thing as coincidence, ever. Like, I'm one of those people. Ever. Exactly. It's exactly how I explain it. It's exactly how I explain it. All right. I still think you're listening to a very loud spirit box. If I still think your voice is out of there, like, we need to make sure we're
No, I don't want
recording.
to hear voices out here. You don't stop messing with that. It keeps spinning.
Yeah.
Beach.
But they're supposed to spin. They're fans.
Well, I mean, that.
Sorry. Literal guys.
It's got one of those solid state fans.
Welcome to Philadelphia Alley. Again, I was just telling Felix that every tour comes down here. So in the event that the other tours are going to come through here, by the way, we want to get some footage in here, so we're going to go ahead and get that thing started. They're going to come out of that ivy wall that they're going to come in here, or they're going to come in from the exact same way that we came in. We're actually not going to go all the way through this alley, like all the way down to the end, specifically because I've been kicked out of here. And yes, I'm going to tell you about that before we leave the space, because that's the fun part of the story. And technically, tours aren't allowed down halfway, like past the halfway point. We'll talk about how I got booted out. Obviously, I broke the rules because I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. Anyway, this used to be called Jeweler's Alley. Oh, let's go.
Yes.
Sorry, wife's a photographer, so I was like, I know that sound. Yeah. I know that sound because I'm usually the one carrying her gear. That's when I drop it. Damn lens gear. But anyway, Jeweler's Alley. We all tell the same story. However, I'm going to tell it to you a little bit different. More details. Your ghost hunting, not campfire, marshmallow kind of ghost tour. So here's how the story goes. A doctor moves down to Charleston from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. In the event that the two of you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl over here, it's not coincidence. We get it all the time because it's part of his name. We'll kind of keep that in mind. Anyway, Dr. Ladd moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She's an attorney, helping her out with all the cash flow. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. He tells Amanda to get rid of that doctor. Dr. Ladd, to prove that he's not after her cash, moves to Charleston. He's going to start his medical practice here. On his way into town, the coachman that brought him in set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a good start to his stay here in Charleston. Somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen because he lives here. He knows the coachman. His name is Ralph Isaacs. I'm going to stop on Ralph for just a second. Ralph has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Ralph Isaacs, Rhode Island. We were getting the letters R.I. all the time on your spirit boxes from somebody spelling something on the radio. However, I did buy that digital Legion board device to make sure like we were getting those specific letters. I can't tell you how many times in the past 6 months that we've actually gotten the letters R.I. consecutively on that Legion board device, as I mentioned Ralph's name. So take that for what it is. People get weirded out by me calling it a Legion board electronic device, so I don't always bring it out. It's not always productive. But anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me to 59 Church Street. You can stay with some friends of mine, rent a room, and you'll be safe and good to go. The doctor took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. Proving his point that he just wasn't after Amanda's money. So, Amanda gets wind of this. Her fiance is making his own money, and she's moving down to Charleston. Dr. Ladd hears about here's what I'm going to tell you. Every haunted city that you're ever going to visit in the future has a good safe whistle ghost. Every single one of them does. Ours just happens to be a doctor. We're going to talk about his whistles here in just a minute. Dr. Ladd and Ralph just play together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money to get better seats. That's where the hierarchy works. We're talking about these plays on the way home. So one night they go see Richard III from Shakespeare, and they're arguing on their way back home, talking about the new actress that was here. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée Amanda back home in Rhode Island. It's pretty nasty, right? So they go their separate ways, and Ralph has friends around town. He puts an ad in the newspaper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a you're a disgrace to society kind of thing. Dr. Ladd saw the ad, he rebutted with, let's go to Dual Valley. We're going to settle this once and for all. So he came down, he took 10 paces, he turned, Dr. Corney was done in the air. He stopped. He did not fight for his friend. He's going to have bravery to show up to the fight. However, Ralph has his responsibility. He puts it in the detail on the doctor. Dr. Ladd didn't die. His friend drops to the ground. His friends picked him up and took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later. After refusing medical treatment on November 2nd of 1786. It's 1786. He refused medical treatment because first off, he's a doctor. Twins psychologists tried to bleed it out. Bullets were a lot different than they are now. So again, the psychologists thought it was lead poison. So every ghost person will tell you to listen for the whistles in real time while you're here. What I'm going to tell you is we have 2 cameras running close my voice recorder. If there's whistles going on down here, one of these 3 devices will pick it up. Secondly, your spirit boxes. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a whistle from a song and then the word doctor. Happens all the time. So again, we get a lot of weird things around here. His address, there's specific things about his house that he lived in at 59 Church Street. There's attributes for that show up that are very specific. Again, can't make this stuff up. That's a weird thing that just popped on out of nowhere. Right. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Anyway, so here's how I got to do that. By the way, you're going to try this on your own. You're going to walk all the way through here. Listen to your whistles through your voice recorders on your phones. Just listen to it later. Just turn on your voice recorder, walk all the way through. But keep in mind, every local knows the story. So anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street blows a whistle down the alley. I do it every single morning on my way back to my car. We passed up my garage, but my office is up here, which means I have to pass the alley every morning once I'm done with your guys' data. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, I always throw up every single night. Well, morning for me. So kind of keep that in mind. Here's how I got this down. There was a wall between us and Cumberland Street, about halfway. The reason being is because this is where they used to keep the livestock in the city of Charleston. So, think cows and chickens and all kinds of things. Now, this used to be called Cow Town before it was called Dover Town. So, what does that mean? On the other side, way down like Queen Street, those bricks were older than the ones we're standing on. Those were sun-dried bricks for slave children. There's a full handprint for the slave child down there, like in one of the bricks, and fingerprint swipes and others. And first way of doing this is to take them all the way down and show the history. We all need to see how far we've come from slavery. Here's the diversity of it. So, one night, November 26th of 2020, very exact date, my entire group of 10 is huddled around that one brick waiting for something to happen. I know nothing's going to happen because I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That's the last place you're going to find that kid. He's not there. I'm also trying to shoot him along because it's outside the kitchen window of a beautiful mansion he's made for me. I'm just trying to be respectful to the home, not realizing I was out of bounds towards that late at night. So the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because she was on the tour that night. Her dad got yelled at. And so we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't work on Thanksgiving simply because I work with the upper management for Walmart for a good part of 20 years. I don't do Thanksgiving ever again. I missed out on too many because we all like to go shopping. So secondly, the next day we go out again, November 28th. But I told my partner that I had at the time, I told him what happened. He laughs at me as well. He says, dude, you don't have to go down halfway or you gotta reroute your group. So I told my group that night, because again, it's Black Friday, we sold out again. I don't believe in the next story because I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. I know pirates next. Now, before we left the space, somebody named Ian Spear Box. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be discussing. The famous female pirate Ian Box. So I was like, oh shit, we'll see if we get out of this. So we go up there, I told them a little bit I did know about pirates. Remember, I had less than 24 hours to do some quick reading and see what I can come up with. And somebody else heard the number 300. Whatever it is, write it down. The next day, I didn't want to San Francisco down here, doing the research, and I find out that we were there November still need facts and data in order to be able, especially to do what we're doing out here. Pirate stories come from pirate lore, which were written 100 years after the fact of when they allegedly happened. So I've read more books on piracy to make sure what we're about to discuss is as legitimate as I can possibly make it. Because it's pirates. Kind of have to take that in stride. And Bonnie is also said to be seen all over town. The next location is a 50-50 shot. I'll explain why we're there in relation to Anne Bonnie, and we'll be able to spread out like what we did at the Pinky Mansion site. And hopefully we're going to get things from here, from Noodle's Alley, along with the story from Anne Bonnie. So, before we leave the space, because I know it's super hot down here this time of year, the gate behind me. Remember that the alley didn't go all the way through this way, right? So in the event there was an allusion to a duel, this was the shortcut to get to the cemetery on the other side of this wall. Otherwise, you're carrying a dead body all the way down to Green Street and have to double back with the dead body in the heat of summer. And obviously, we're feeling the heat of summer right afterwards. So this was, the wrought iron wasn't here, by the way. So that was probably put there in the 1900s. But you can see that the archway is definitely part of the original. There's other rumors that Andrew Jackson actually had a duel down here, and there's gunshots, holes in the walls, and that kind of thing. Why all the ivy runs it all the way down, you can't go find them. Again, it is what it is. Lots of rumors, myths, and things that make it really complicated. If you are, in the photos like Felix, this is probably one of the most beautiful places in all of Charleston. It's well lit day and night, and it's usually really quiet without the AC running. So, and again, this is one of my favorite places in Charleston. I hate to give it up, but every tour comes down here, and I don't want you guys to keep hearing the same shit that we were hearing from another tour. So, anything crazy that may have been heard before we leave the space? Hope, Virginia? Nothing? Okay, and that's okay. Yours is recording. However, this was named Philadelphia Alley because Philadelphia helped us out of one of our many, many fires that I've already told you about. And that's why we renamed it the Philadelphia Alley to Philadelphia Alley. So I'll still take the word fire and then just name it fire. Anything crazy coming up on yours?
Nope.
Alright, so no. By the way, your baseline would have been a 7 here because the lamp was what we talking about. So any crazy words you need to know about before we leave? Or the last word you have?
Man, a cheer.
Okay, well, nothing. So hopefully Dr. Black will come through the next location. For those of you with cameras, if you want to keep them running, by all means do so. We're only going up around the corner. But you can keep it going. I'll give you the crazy history of Anne Bonnie. We'll investigate, see what's going on. And hopefully we get some activity out of Anne and the doctor. The doctor likes to visit him. We're going to play Anne from time to time.
Okay.
Alright, let's go around the corner. Rated R Pirates. You guys ready for this?
Yep.
Honey, they got like honey rated R Pirates.
I'm gonna trip on this sidewalk.
Jalen, you're fired.
What? What?
You still seem like you're the best camera girl.
I am. I'm the best in the world.
That's interesting.
Stick to me. Stick to me.
I feel like a post-it.
Don't touch me ever again.
I want to smell the ocean.
No, I think that's just fake. It's better than yours.
You're just biased.
No, yours just gives me a headache.
You give me a headache.
Well, at least I don't give you a cough. At least I don't give you a
I don't
cough.
give you a cough.
You have a cough.
But I don't give you a cough.
You have it from vaping. Your vape gives you a cough. You didn't catch on at all. It's actually really cool.
It's a really pretty church. We weren't planning on it. Going her.
Have you heard anything along the way?
Yeah, 1994.
Okay, I'll write it down. I don't know if there's any kind of reference from it. Obviously, Virginia and I were talking. Anything crazy show up for you? Lucas, anything on your camera? I know you and I were kind of chatting too.
Not that I noticed.
Okay, so Felix, in this location, don't get excited about readings in the corners up behind you because there's 2 electrical poles and then there's the parking meters on the other side. Readings back here on this back half are usually what gets exciting for us.
Okay.
Anything crazy coming out of you, fan lady?
No, it was.
Oh, she's charging now. Shit. She brought the whole gear.
No,
Reloaded.
I'm reloading.
Oh my god.
Wow. How many of those did you bring?
2. And a charger.
Impressive almost.
Try them with me, it's bad.
1994. It's an interesting year. You guys
was like-
probably when he was born.
It was like a little bit behind that parking spot.
Again, I'm mainly focused on the 94, but at the same time, it could be something else around. There's like 15 stories on this corner. What do you got? Borrow. So I'll move my bag in
Like
front.
covered
This is
in
where I get
bugs.
to take a break from the bag while I give you guys a
I know
crazy
the
car
bag's
ride.
killer.
I know, right? So let's kind of get into why we're here. Every tour comes here, but they look at the space a little bit differently than what we're doing. So we're here because of the powder magazine. That's the same reason the other tours come here as well. But we're going to be looking at it because, first off, you need to know that those are not crosses on that building. Those are earthquake bolts. If you don't know what earthquake bolts are, they're basically turnbuckles. They go all the way through the building. It looks just like that on the other side. If we have another earthquake, like what we did in 1886, then we can turn those turnbuckles, and it'll tighten the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea. It just doesn't work. So the only reason I bring them up is because that's the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why is because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. We are here because that's what I call a familiar. So you guys have watched the TV shows, you've seen that Boo Buddy, the teddy bear with the little blinky lights in it if a ghost comes by. So she just had to stop and think about it.
I'm thinking so
But
hard.
anyway, they use that because the teddy bear would be something recognizable to a child. We're here because of the exact same reason. We don't have many buildings this old. This is just something that Anne would recognize because it was being constructed at the same time that she was coming here to start a new life. So the building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building, 10 years
Yeah.
for the adults in the room? And
At
by the
least.
way, I will keep this as PG-13 as I possibly can. We are talking about a kick-ass female pirate. It can get a little raunchy. I know my audience. Even though I have no idea how old these kids are. Like my 17-year-old daughter, by the way, is this tall. And my 22-year-old is this tall. So about an inch short.
Oh
Like,
my
they're-
God.
Like they are even, like their mom is super short. So again,
Wow.
when I see teenagers in front of me, like I can tell by your faces that you guys are young. I have no idea how old you guys are, just so you know. But anyway, back to
They're all babies compared to him.
Aren't you only 2 years younger?
Not even 2.
well,
I'm probably the oldest. I could be all y'all's mom.
well, I already called you a young lady, and you got offended by that too. So anyway,
I appreciate that. Okay, I'll take it.
well, I already revealed my age because everybody asks me. You weren't paying attention.
You said 94?
So I'm not 94.
So nice.
Damn, I look good for 94.
94.
23. No, I'm just guessing numbers.
I told you that my oldest daughter is 22.
Okay, so
That's a
you
good.
could be in your early 30s. I've known a grandma at 36.
I get it. But I already told you I was close to Chuck's age, who was 45. I'm 44.
I'm 49.
So you can't be my mom.
That would be weird.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be very disturbing.
A little weird. All right. So now that we've
You
had
are
our private
sister.
conversation, it's going to be on recording later on.
Oh yeah, that is. Right. Okay. All right, I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
No,
have some water,
it's interactive.
Lucas?
I want you to talk to me.
Can I have
Anyway,
some water?
our history begins right in the middle of the building's construction. So 1708, try to follow me. There's a lot of twists here. So I'll slow down on those twists because they can be very confusing because it's family oriented. You guys will see why. 1708, a young lady moves here by the name of Anne Cormack. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Are you guys with me so far?
The mistress is Anne's mother.
Yes. The three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed was she that she had to kick them out of Ireland to come here by boat? There's no planes. It's 1708. So anyway, they landed in Georgetown. You're the only gentleman here with the lady, so make sure you be nice. So she'll pick you up to Canada. That's usually the joke that I make. With a fan. She'll just blow you right out of here. Anyway, they landed in Georgetown and Dad bought a plantation. Mom dies pretty quickly. That means Dad is now sending young Anne to Charleston to sell things from the plantation and keep things afloat. If you're unfamiliar with where Georgetown is, that is between us and Myrtle Beach. So it's about an hour and a half car ride, probably a good 4 to 6 hour carriage ride trip. But anyway, hence the familiar building. That's why we're here. Let's take a step backwards to Ireland again for just a second. Anne was said to be a badass even back then when she lived in Ireland. At the age of 7, 8, 9 years old, they say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. So again, imagine a 7, 8, 9-year-old killing a servant. I can't tell you how many times I've had servant, knife, and belly all show up from 2 or 3 different people, and the other 2 people don't know what the other 2 people have heard, if that makes sense. So yeah, happens all the time. Fast forward, the building's done in 1713. Pirates are starting to come through Charlestown in 1715. I know I'm enjoying the breeze too, so I kind of seen that look on your face. She's got her own breeze. I can't count.
Oh my god.
But anyway, where was I? So 1715, the pirates are starting to come through Charlestown, and Anne is pretty excited, simply because she's going to fall in love with one of these gentlemen so she can fall in love and earn her freedom, just like a man. That's what's going on in this world today, or at that time. So, first guy she falls in love with, and I said first because there's a handful, and that's what makes the damn story so interesting. That's why we're going to talk about them all. First guy is James Bonny. You kind of already see where this one's going because we've already mentioned her pirate name. Now, Anne falls in love with James, but Dad doesn't approve because he's a filthy pirate. They ran away to Jamaica, got married, and Cormac is now Anne Bonny. So, that's where the pirate name came from, but when you get down there, she realizes that James Bonny is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. He's a spy, a coward for the British. That's who he works for. This is not who she wants. A few more years go by, she falls in love again. Guy number 2, John Rackham. Everybody calls him Calico Jack. Calico Jack is the guy that they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering who the hell this guy is. Yeah, exactly. Jack has his own crew, he has his own ship. So, Anne wants to be part of that crew and ship, but you can't put a female on a pirate crew. Does anybody know why? And keep it family friendly. That would be a no. It's bad luck. So, I can already see where the wheels are spinning. So, that's why I say keep it family friendly. Because I can already see where people's minds are going. And Lucas is just over there grinning. He's like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But anyway, it's bad luck. So he makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like the crew, you can be part of the crew. But you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's okay with this. Why? Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to keep her away from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world. But she's a pirate, so let's go, right? Keep in mind, she's a female in his quarters. Let's put 2 and 2 together. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl, and they're going to get rid of Jack as captain. So, he drops her off in Cuba. Go have the baby here before she starts the show. Come back later. We'll figure it out. She goes and has that baby, but returns without a baby. We have no idea what happened to the child, by the way. None of my research has ever found it. She comes back dressed as a female. This makes Jack pretty angry. I want you to keep in mind who Anne is. To make him even more mad, she's going to go flirting with the pirate crew that he just captured. They're down below deck. Guy number 3. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy, to be part of the crew that Calico Jack just captured. Now we have 2 females, just like males on the same ship. Her name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. So her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're not going to really know for sure, but the British find out where they are. They're going to take out one measly little pirate ship. Anne and Mary it's the rumor that they were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with their 1-bullet flintlocks. Probably because they didn't know how to use cannon jet. They haven't been pirates for very long. So, obviously 2 ladies with flintlocks are not going to take on a whole fleet of ships. They get arrested, and as they got arrested, Anne looks at her captain, her beau, Calico Jack, and she says, I'm so sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog. The word dog shows up on our spirit boxes a lot. So you know, I've even had people hear accounts of dogs barking, like on a commercial, as they enter the space before they even know that reference. Anyway, back to Anne and Mary. The judge wants to see the 2 men, by the way, that fought back so violently on their own. He wants to see who these brave souls are. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunk pirates that wouldn't fight, so they're dead and gone, November 26th. The 2 ladies go in front of the judge, and they reveal their gender, hoping to save themselves. The judge does not give a shit that they are female, so he's still going to hang them. They're still pirates. We plead our bellies was the last thing they shouted, because you can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. So he sends them both back to jail, delays the hanging until after the pregnancies. Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne and brings her back home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary. We don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Very abrupt ending on Anne Bonny, because we don't know much about her after her pirate career. Some say she went up to Virginia, believe it or not, and that she changed her name, and that's where she's buried with her 4 children. However, Mary Read, what happened to Mary? 5 months later, she dies in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates die from in a Jamaican jail. Use your imagination. Most folks will tell you that it was fever. I'm going to say bullshit. Let's make it romantic and call it scurvy. Why the hell not? We're talking pirates. So, here's the things I left out of here. I'm not going to assign questions. You guys know what you're doing here, but this is not a prominent English woman that we need to tiptoe around. This is a know your ghost type situation. We're talking about a kick-ass female chick, right? So we're going to kick her in the shins and get some answers. So, hope don't kick her in the shins. Anyway.
Why do I always get asked this?
Here's what I'm going to tell you that I left out of the story. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents on purpose. That's the father and the mistress. The name of Calico Jack's ship that Anne became part of. The city where Anne grew up in Ireland. And I also left out the color of Anne Bonny's hair. Everything else is fair game. Just make sure you're not asking yes, no questions. We're going to explore the space. I will tell you, I caught giant orbs over, not specific with your camera, Jay, but with another camera that works very similarly over by that wall. So I don't know if you want to kind of focus up there. Remember your EMF. If you get anything on this back half, 2.5 and higher, I'm going to be excited. So even at 2.6, I'm like, hell yeah, this is not the Pinckney Mansion. Up there, you're probably going to get between a 3 to a 7 because of the electrical pulse. So your camera loves to act up in here. Let me know if you start to see staticky lines and going through your camera at all. Everybody else, you guys know what you're doing with your spirit boxes. I'll leave you behind so I can see your word list. I haven't taken a look at it in a few minutes. So let's spread out and let's get to work.
I just knew something while we were talking. Like when we were talking about like the male disguises, it was too high.
Hi, I like Jackie.
Okay, all right.
Staticky lines.
Anything?
I heard 9969.
I'll tell something. Tell him.
I don't know. What would 99 be?
I don't know. He's withholding information right now, so.
Is
in front of one another, so it's always gonna make it look like there's a person on there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So even like the foliage that we have like along this wall here in the building, it's always gonna try to make it look like a person. Just so you know.
I've noticed a little bit.
Yeah, because it's in front of the building.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the first total we see. Anything else going on, Hope? Jimmy, you see that? I don't think so.
Oh, no. I didn't take it like that.
Okay. I'm not that guy. When you guys show up, I'm like, oh, where's the child? You know?
No.
Where you at? I do count it as that because I have it. So when I'm going through Virginia's recording, I'm not paying attention to the I look at it like when I'm done and say, okay, we're at the information from here, here's St. Charles, here's 47, you know, like all of the things that would match up to that specific person. Yeah, don't get attacked by the trees.
Oh my god.
You dropped an eyeball.
Baby girl. Baby girl. You okay?
But that's how I look at the list. I don't look at it and seek things out. I just let it happen.
Right.
So that way I can look at the list as a whole, and I'm laser focused. And nobody's in my office. So like I have a co-working office, and nobody works overnight.
Oh,
So
okay. You got to do
I
yourself.
literally have my beats in. I'm staring at the computer so I can write down those timestamps, and then I fast forward every 5 minutes, and I write
Wow.
down whatever I hear. And that's kind of how it goes.
Wow.
So when my daughter's on the tour, she crashes on the couches. She goes to the podcast room. You know, she does whatever she's gonna do because she's a drama kid. And sometimes she has auditions, 3, 4,
Oh,
4,
okay,
and things
yeah.
like that. So, so she'll go to the podcast room and do her recordings, or she'll just crash on the couch because there's couches. There's a full kitchen there for me. Like there's nobody there. I love it.
Yeah,
setup.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
It is the set for sure. And I have a filing cabinet where I keep, like, I drop off my bag. And, you know, I park down here, but I walk up, I drop off my computer and my bag because it's obviously a laptop that I take back home with me.
Yeah.
I drop it off and throw it in my filing cabinet, grab some cold water, and I'm out the door. And there's a clean bathroom, so I don't have to seek for that. That was the main purpose. Was the
Yeah,
damn
you gotta
clean
have
bathroom.
gotta
Oh
clean
my
the
god! So
bathroom.
3 years of not having, like, seeking around, like, who's open.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So when I told my wife, like, what I'm going to be paying for rent so I can have a clean bathroom, she's like, really? I'm like, you don't understand. You don't get it. I have an hour drive to work, you know, and I usually have a
Yeah.
soda on the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And I drink water through this whole thing. I need
Yeah, a bathroom.
bathroom.
Yep.
hope. Anything going on?
Not yet. Whatever.
Did you try listening to that at all? Oh, just take the other earbud. Just do it.
Do you want to hear some, Jay? Sure. Just kidding. Is it in? Does anybody need a water? I hold one.
You're like fully equipped.
See, everywhere we go,
Everyone
right?
listening
It's
to
got,
me.
like, it's got pizza. Like.
Well, this is my. I just grabbed stuff for this specific activity.
Give me
Water, fans.
What was your
Wallet?
father's name?
So we have everything packed.
I heard
for
father.
ourselves
Did you?
when we go out. Because I have 3 miniature dogs.
Yeah, I'm taking out your death.
okay.
One of them is my ESA.
Not.
for 5 years, and the other one is my wife's for her anxiety when I'm not there.
Yeah.
And the other one is a senior, so he needs a stroller.
Oh.
Little bastard has no teeth.
Oh.
We just adopted him and
Oh.
can't hold his bladder more than an hour. So
I can relate.
God, he's killing me. Like, we've had him for a year. And I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting him to make it.
Oh wow.
Like, when we
He was
picked him up
that
from the
bad
shelter,
off.
he was like mange everywhere. But my wife is going to
man.
school to be a vet, and she works at a vet hospital.
What's your
So
father's name?
She's really good with nutrition.
Yeah,
So
we're
I'm like,
animal people too.
So you rehabbed him and just gotta take care of him for whatever he's got left in him, huh?
He's the happiest little guy in the world.
Awesome.
He's just. I mean, the other kids beat him up.
Please.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he's the older guy. But again, my other two
He
are
knows his
young.
place, but he just
He
keeps
does.
it happy. Yeah, we have 2
Father?
golden retrievers and
She a father? She heard the word father over here. They're asking about the father's name on this side.
oh, that makes sense.
It could also be a religious term for the church. We don't know yet.
I thought I heard Tom, but
That's your father.
no, 50 other guys got me too.
You're a good multitasker. You're listening here and talking and hearing what's going on over here all at the same.
But that's a constant.
plant on my back.
Like when they're interrupting me and they say a random thing like what Hope just did, like I'm still like focused on.
What town in Ireland are you from?
I'm gonna give Lucas a job later. He's excited.
That's some good questions, yeah.
19.
19.
And with that 19, you had 1994 earlier.
I know.
She was a pirate.
Yeah, we can kick her a little bit.
Yeah.
In this location.
Yes, it was out to the west and east of town.
I got this plant.
She from
What town in Ireland are you from?
Typical mom.
I was sniffing. You just see me carrying groceries.
Anything crazy, Jay?
George's.
George's.
Received.
We had message received over here, did we not?
message received.
Actually, I saw
Loss.
getting so specific
on.
questions. Let's think right.
What color was her hair?
What color was your hair?
Sweet child of mine. It was the 2 opening bars of Sweet Child of Mine. I think I'm to the prison.
We recognize the song, but it's about the lyrics.
it's from our
It's our generation.
generation. But it was, you'll hear it. Could be wrong.
Like no expression
What was that?
whatsoever.
I don't know. I Man, can't tell if it's she's- a thing in the back or not.
No, what
I
was
can show
that?
you a picture of her baby.
She called you an asshole. Did you hear that?
She is. She calls me that every day.
Just
I
the
mean,
most
that's all the time.
unpleasant, like,
It didn't say it.
Take it. Stand up and go sit over there.
Color.
factory kid ever. Like, that's her. Yeah.
She's from Ireland.
Yeah. Yeah, she's rocking.
Thanks.
Are you presuming that she has red hair?
You don't presume
I
it
just
goes.
got,
And you know,
That's me.
and the Queen of England, who would have been under control of Ireland at the time, was also under the Act of Union of 1707, Ireland became part of Great Britain.
He's correct. Absolutely correct.
I let him have too many books.
No, there's no such thing.
Right.
I don't believe in too many books. I believe in ghosts every day, but I don't believe in too many books.
Yeah, I buy all the books. Sometimes I can't get them.
Did you see it again?
It was a tree.
Oh.
I'm also
Alright, look.
a lot of times when we get just one letter, like that's usually very specific, right? So I want you to also think of
Ask another
like
question.
the word verses wouldn't always be VS the way we look at it today. So we are near a place where there was competition. So it was lad versus
What was
Isaacs.
the name of the servant you stabbed?
See, I can't prove that, but it's a great question. I love when you guys give me weird shit because that makes me like really dive into it.
You did all the weird stuff to ask.
Told you I'm gonna give him a job later. Give me writing questions now.
Right?
Hope you got anything at all.
Oh my god.
Okay. Jay, I really thought you were gonna be helping her out with that.
Yeah, I tried. She said, no, never mind.
How many times?
Yeah, because you're deaf and can't hear anything. There was nothing to hear.
Dad's off looking for more.
I got 1994 again.
Again?
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know.
Very weird.
And how many times do you need to stab somebody?
A few. Actually.
Burn.
Sometimes it's
Oh, that's a question.
Barn.
How many
Barn?
times do you need to stab somebody to
near
prove
the
your
big red
point?
barn anymore. We'll wait till Dad comes back and we'll call this one in. You guys aren't giving me a ton here. Again, this is a 50-50 shot with this location, and then I'll explain the next location because it's completely different than what we've been doing.
What was the name of the boat you sailed to America on?
I don't think I know that answer either. Not off the top of my head. Think with all the damn pirate books I've read. You think I know this shit. But that 1707 treaty that he talked about, like that's, I knew that one.
Yeah. He knows his facts.
Nothing, Dad.
Went back to 0 and on over this.
Okay. All right, we're gonna call this one a wrap. Go ahead and kill your videos.
Static is Morse code.
Henry Timrod, this is Hope. She can hear you. Tell us whatever message you want to start off with, but I'm going to ask first and foremost, what is your occupation? The same way I do every night. We had a photo of a dog on his side, just so you know. I don't know what the reference is to that yet, but he had some kind of animal that showed up on that area. Henry Timrod, can you push through and tell us your occupation, please? Sometimes they forget to talk. But that's why I say you gotta tell us things in real time. We'll give her another second. If she doesn't hear anything, Mom, you're gonna lift up her earmuff and say, you need to tell us what you're hearing. But sometimes they forget. Henry?
Yeah.
Can you push through and let us know what your occupation is, please? Henry? Alright, go ahead and lift up her earmuff. Maybe she doesn't understand.
Tell us what you hear.
It's your sister, just so you know.
I know. Parish.
Henry,
Huh?
I need you to tell us what your occupation is.
But it's spelled weird.
It's church word.
Yeah, it's not the PE.
Confused.
Television.
Henry, let's keep it simple. What did you do for a living? There's nothing
Just
there,
get on your
Lucas.
thing.
It's the Matrix.
Investigate.
We are investigating. We're looking into your life, Henry. Can you tell us more about it? Henry, Hope struggled with this method throughout the night, so you're going to have to help her out and really come through nice and clear. Henry,
Trash.
we're being very respectful in here tonight, and it's just us. Look, there's nobody else in here tonight. Nice small group. I know you don't like the big crowds.
Houses.
Okay, which housing do we want to talk about? Is Henry even here? That's a yes/no answer, please.
Best day.
Any visions, Lucas?
Oh, no, nothing's over.
Okay.
93.
I don't know what that number means, Henry. You got to give us something more specific. I'm looking to see if Henry's even here. Did anybody catch what she just said? I missed it. Henry? Is somebody else here with you? Henry Timrod. Push through and let us know if anybody else is here. That's a simple yes/no answer. Again, what she's doing is not easy. So,
Sorry.
sorry about? It's always best to treat every term as if it's part of something. Like, how can you twist it? Is it part of something? And that's how I learn about him. He and I actually had a whole conversation about his wife one night. Things I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I'm talking like 8 or 9 phrases in a 10-minute period about how he met his wife.
Voice. That's wild.
Voice.
Henry, this is Hope. Can you use her voice to tell us what your occupation is? She can hear the things coming through all of those electronics. The technology. What was it?
News.
The technology that she is using. She said business was the last piece. I know you work for a newspaper. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Kicked. Kent or kicked?
Kit or kicked. One or the other.
I think she said kicked.
You know, we can also see things in the green box. This is Lucas.
Best place.
He can see things if you get close to him. It'll generate images for us. We have technology today that will allow us to do that.
Birthday.
Whose birthday do you want to tell us about? It's been about 5 minutes, just so you guys know. This goes very quickly. Have you heard anything? Henry, whose birthday do you want to tell us about? You want to talk about Willie's birthday? What holiday that was?
Please.
Can you give us the date of Willie's birthday? Trying to find the actual holiday is going to be hard to do, but if you can give us the number, we would accept that. Sorry, I'm in the way for
Oh, you're good.
Lucas to be in the shot.
Argument.
I don't know of any argument that you had that would have been famous or something you want to talk about. Do you want to tell us the name of your college friend who's also a writer, where you stayed at his house in Columbia? What was his first name?
Right now.
What was your friend's name? He's also a writer. You stayed at his house to write your last page.
Fight for us.
It's interesting.
Please right now fight for us.
Henry, you're not giving us a lot tonight. Is there any specific?
Christ.
Can you tell us what sound we're hearing right now?
The bow?
Yes. Said Christ.
How did you do that?
I didn't do that. Can you tell us what we just heard from the church? What sound did we just hear?
95.
We've had the word bells show up on multiple devices. When I ask that nightly, because the bells go off all the time.
Well written.
Well written.
Wow.
You have anything, Mom?
Otherwise?
Were you referring to your writing that's well written? Are you trying to tell us your occupation that way? Lucas, no visions at all?
Oh, I'm thinking about like the well-written 95 theses posted on the church, you know. I'm just guessing.
Again, sometimes we get one image, sometimes we've got 7.
Protect.
What are we protecting, Henry? I want to know what sound we heard from the church. We're running out of time. We have about a minute and a half left. We don't have any images from you that I can tell are... You're trying. bit, but that's probably okay. Just wanted to make you aware, like I'm
Watch above.
watch above. I want to know the sound.
Enhance.
Tell us the sound we heard from the church. It's not his fault. It's the goose. Henry, do you want us to go home and wrap this up? Henry?
Down.
You want us to leave now?
Camelot.
Okay, say it's probably time to tap her out. Go ahead and tap her leg. Lucas, go ahead and take off your headgear. I want to see these images of a dog you have.
Welcome back.
So neither one of you get up.
Good job, man.
I don't want you guys being baby giraffes falling on the ground. Just kind of stay put. I want to see these images. Wow. This is the dog that he saw, everybody.
Is that just like a meme? Like now?
It's an AI generated.
Oh, okay.
I thought he looked pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's albino.
That's not albino.
It looks albino.
It's
This
white.
was the image that was coming
Yeah, but
up
it's pink.
as I was. That is so weird. I was putting it into the viewfinder, and this started to generate, and I wanted to see like what this was to see how the
What?
Frog
Oh my
goblin.
gosh.
like
That's creepy.
it almost looks like Gene Simmons,
I was gonna say, like a clown.
Even more of an eye.
Yeah.
but it is.
I'm glad I didn't get the VR.
I'm pretty sure it's a frog goblin.
So again,
More.
So here I will call this an unsuccessful session because we didn't have a conversation. How do you feel, by the way? You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You okay?
Oh yes.
I figured like you were looking around and goofing off. I was like, yeah, he's fine.
meditation.
He's quiet
So
for once.
I would call this. You can go ahead and stop your video at this point if you haven't already.